All right, Panther fans. I think we're good. I think we've got a good team. There's Stu with the victory cigar, smiling about it. Despite what ESPN attempted to make us out to be, I believe we actually have a good team. Even though I don't know if you guys know, but if you watched the game, I mean, it was a really, really close, tight, hard-fought game that it was in doubt. It was in doubt the entire, even at 5-2, Minnesota was going to any minute now turn it on and catch up. Huh, Stu?
What are you going to do? I mean, this is the second time that ESPN disrespected us.
Yeah.
Okay. The other night they disrespected both the Canes and us with that split screen, but that was TNT.
Yeah, that's TNT.
Last night, I mean, I don't understand this. John Bushagrass is the guy that predicted, out of all the commentators, he's the one that predicted we'd win the cup.
Right.
And I mean, he was like damn right giddy when Zuccarello scored.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but I will say, because I did watch the highlights on YouTube last night, and he made the call when we scored goals.
Right.
And it's listen, there were times where they could not help but compliment us.
Right. Exactly.
We are that good.
Yeah.
We had some nice things to say about Ekblad and Lundell, and
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, this was a tough opponent, and I told you, before going in that this was going to be a tough game. Minnesota, by the way, had won 13 straight at home. They hadn't lost since like November or something. I don't know. Wow. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
So, there's been a lot of streaks that we've broken this year.
Yeah.
And they've also, I think their record was 30, 13, and 2.
At home, 30. Right. Oh, no. And overall, 30, 13, 2. Yeah.
So, I mean, now we've beaten them twice.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that the main thing right now is we're warming up on the road.
Yes.
I saw a stat. We're 7-1 and something in the last 10 games on the road or something like that. Don't hold me to that, but basically,
but each trip has improved. When he first took over, it didn't look so good, and then we kind of looked a little bit better, and then we looked a little bit better, and now, I mean, 4 out of 4. When you look at that on the schedule and see at Carolina, at Minnesota, you're not thinking 4 out of 4, and you're certainly not thinking with 7 minutes left they're pulling their goalie. That was the craziest thing.
I've never seen that. I've seen it at 4 or 5 minutes. I've never seen it at 7 minutes. I mean, I don't know what the coach, well, I know what the coach was thinking. Right. Here's what the coach was thinking. We've done shit 5-on-5. Yeah. Okay. We just can't penetrate, the wall.
Right.
Well, and we've scored 2 power play goals. So why not treat it as a power play? Pull the goalie, we'll have 6-on-5. His mistake was doing it against the Panthers. Well, and our speed. And if you notice, when Verhaeghe shot, when he caught up to that at the blue line and put it in the empty net, Butchergrass said, "You got to win the race. You got to win the race.
You got to win every race." He kept saying, "Yeah, yep."
And then to pull, to leave him out, to pull him again for Marchman's goal.
I know.
I mean, listen, if the experiment doesn't work. Okay, now what was it? Now it's 5-2.
It was 5-2 at that point.
So you think you're going to get 3 goals against the Panthers in 6 minutes?
Right.
Might as well, you put the goalie back in and see what happens. So anyway, whatever. Yeah. I'll take it. Marchman gets the hat trick.
Right.
All is good in Pantherland.
Yeah, the only thing that happened out of that was disappointing was when Gudas shot at full length of the ice. I was hoping it would go in. He just got the puck. He said, "Screw this." He didn't even look. He didn't even think about it. He's like, "I am shooting for that empty net."
Yeah, but that was not a, that was a selfish move.
It was a selfish move.
In a close game like that, you don't do that.
Well, was it still at 4-2 or was it 5-2 already at that point? I mean, if it's 5-2, it's excusable.
It doesn't matter. So what happens now? It's an icing.
Right.
They come back, they win the faceoff and score a goal.
Then sure.
And then they're 1 goal. I mean, it's just in my opinion, a selfish move.
Yeah.
He'll have other opportunities to get his goal.
Right.
I mean, I think in this year he's hit the post 3 times,
Yeah.
at least 3
Oh,
times.
at least he might have hit it twice last night. It just we were getting shots through. We kept hitting the post early on. Anyway, so the other thing to talk about a little bit, obviously, let's not forget Bobrovsky, man, because he's doing it again when he's keeping us in games when it could easily been 2-2 instead of 3-1. I mean, that Tose was a full-on split. And I mean, 99 times out of 100, that's a goal. It doesn't matter who the goalie is or anything like that.
And they acknowledged what a great save that was.
Yeah.
But he also made some other key saves, and I think more than anything, he calmed everybody down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like a good goalie knows when to hold on to the puck for a whistle, for a face-off.
Right. No, that's a really good point. Yeah.
So,
yeah. He's
without Bob this year, I mean, great, we could score as many goals, whatever, but it comes down and is gonna come down to goaltending. In the playoffs, it's goaltending.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky beat us by himself.
Yes. Game 6 was definitely
if not for Vasilevsky, we win that series.
Yep. No, there's no doubt about that. So then we got to see Hornquist on that second line. Didn't look bad. Nothing I saw there. I won't say I'm disappointed, but I didn't see anything exciting either. And then Achari just looked like he was just trying to get into the flow of things and everything like that.
Yeah, Achari looked he didn't look out of play. He looked I'm sure it's going to get better after 2-3 games, but he looked fine. It looked like he hasn't missed a beat.
Right. Well, remember, it wasn't like it was his legs. He's got fresh legs now. So we haven't seen Noel Achari game 50 just about with fresh legs. So this is going to be a different experience.
And fresh body to block shots.
Exactly.
I'm sure he's played the last couple of years with
a
lot of bruises.
Yeah. So that's good to see. I mean, leave the lineup the same, obviously. The thing with Duke getting hurt there a little bit, that kind of tampered with us being able to see where Hornquist was going to do on that second line. I didn't notice him. I noticed him a couple of times early on. Not saying make any changes, because just leave it the way it is. And somebody's got to claim that top 6 spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I thought Hornquist was going to be up there, but it makes thinking about it, it makes more sense to put Duclair back on there, only because they've played with each other and it's been a winning combination. So I'm fine with Hornquist on the second line. You don't touch this roster now.
No.
I'm telling you, everybody's thinking, including myself, we need another defenseman. Yeah, okay, we need another defenseman just to have backup.
Yeah.
Carlson played really good last night, and he's played good the last few games. Yeah. He's played with a lot more confidence. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yep.
And I don't think we're desperate.
Right.
To get a defenseman to replace him.
No, I agree. I just want something behind him.
Whoever we bring in, why are we bringing him in? It would assume that Carlson's going to be squeezed out and this new guy is going to come in. Well, I just think the chemistry right now on this team is it's flowing, man. It's and it's flowing good stuff. These guys, I mean, I love seeing the reaction on the bench. I mean, did you see the celebration from Marchment?
Yes.
Now, every guy came over and, tapped him in the helmet, hugged him and whatnot. These guys, this is what Billy Lindsay said to us at the beginning, or before that you win the cup, you play for your man next to you.
Right.
And that's what this team, that's the difference between this team and probably some, past history Panther teams.
Right.
Everybody's playing for the the common goal.
So my thought is this. I do believe they're going to make one, if not two moves. And here's why. It's going to be less about a need for us and more about, I don't think we're just going to let Vetrano and Tippett just walk and get nothing in return. So maybe we pick up, a guy that can be depth on the third or fourth line if somebody gets hurt in the playoffs. Maybe we pick up a 6-7D, something like that. But I don't think they're going to let those guys just both of them walk out the door. They're not going to let Owen Tippett, a first round pick, just walk out the door for nothing. So
I agree.
So something's going to happen. Now,
But don't forget, you could always trade him for draft picks.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
I don't want that to happen.
Right.
But I'm just saying, why don't we just wait and see what happens?
Yeah.
That's all we can do. Everybody can speculate as much as we want to speculate. We're getting Claude Giroux and we're getting, it's just like, let's just wait and see what happens. Because Zito might pull a rabbit out of his hat that we don't even know who the guy is. That it's not a big name. That's not a big namer. That it's a guy that has a reasonable cap.
Yeah, that much is true. We also have
it could be a young up and coming player,
right?
That again hasn't really made his mark yet.
Right, like a Forsling, right?
Zito sees the potential. Yeah, exactly.
Now that's one way to look at it, and I agree with it. The other thing, I like to play as devil's advocate, and you mentioned Claude Giroux. It's like, well, if we don't get him, he's going somewhere, and so then you start to go, well, it's not just us adding him. What if he went to Tampa or if he went to Colorado? That could come back to bite us in the ass later. So there's so many different angles, like you said. Let's just wait and see what happens. There's just so many different angles.
The thing I'm worried about is Fleury going to Colorado. That's the big rumor right now.
Right.
And I see it would be a perfect fit for him. Because obviously he's getting up there in age and he wants to win another cup. Why else is he continuing to play? Right.
So
Colorado is probably the number one destination because I think everybody thinks that Colorado's the team to win the cup this year.
Yeah.
They're not thinking that we're going to do it because we haven't won a playoff series since '96. I mean, that's all we're hearing. I think if we had a few years where we made it to the finals or the conference or even got out of the first round, they would be talking differently. But we haven't.
Right.
We haven't won a series, and that's working against us. But we could change all that this year.
Yep. So the only other things, and the game yesterday, that's becoming a minor habit. Last time I said this, you kind of said, it kind of happens, but it keeps happening on the penalty kill where Uyghur's not paying attention. He's standing there with Ekblad and guys are sneaking in behind him, and now they're going to start looking for that. Yeah.
Listen, I pointed it out to you. We both, we both texted each other at the same time. Ekblad had his man covered.
Right.
Why was Uyghur standing next to him? He should have been looking around, and you got to think in the back of you got to look in the back of your head, so to speak.
Yeah. You got to figure.
Good players have that. They have that. Lundell's got it. Barkov's got it.
Yes.
Huberdeau. You see in the back of your head what's going on. And of course, the best player on the ice for Minnesota. You got to keep your eye on that guy. Where is he? McDavid? Where is he?
Right.
You got to stay on top of these.
Yep. So that one cost us, obviously. And then the Ekblad one where he was pinching there at the end of the PK. And Huberdeau raced back to cover his man because Ekblad was they were going the opposite direction. So, and Huberdeau's been good defensively that way as well. But I
Right.
think
Well, he had no
those two
right. He had no
things,
right doing that. He took a chance because he thought that,
right,
he was going to be in alone and score another goal. Rah rah, sis boom bah.
right,
And
right.
you don't do that on a penalty kill.
Not on the PK. No.
I've seen Forsling kind of sort of do that, but then use his hockey IQ
But
and
then
say,
he
nope,
stops.
my
Yep.
job's defense. Like he stops and then he goes back. I've seen him do that a number of times.
Yeah.
He knows what his role is, but
Right. No.
Ekblad's always one to take advantage, of a man. How many times have I seen him on the rush with, our forwards? He's
Right.
got no right to be doing that, but obviously, he sees an opportunity, he's going to go for it.
Right. Well, it was a beautiful goal.
I love when he tries to beat three guys and stick handle on Barkov.
Yeah.
He loses the puck eventually.
Yeah. He tries to.
One of these times it's fun. I think he's done it a couple of times where he's actually beat the defenseman and scored. But anyway, he got a big goal last night.
Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. It was, and
he got
was
a big goal
feeling
last night.
Yeah.
But
and that's it. I mean,
and it was on the power play. So
right.
I posted something last night. I was tweeting back and forth with Frank Forte.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a good
I don't know
guy.
if you know Frank, but Frank used to do the Fox thing.
Yeah.
But
well, I remember him from back in the day on ABC News. That when I grew up in Miami, he was on ABC News. The local station, WPLG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have
just a weed ass.
So he wrote, think about this. Duclair already has 20. Marchman has 11. Guys, other teams didn't want. Barkov doesn't score tonight, and it matters not one bit. Crazy depth at forward. So I wrote, think about this. Bennett, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, Huby, Barkey, and the Duke all have scored over 15 goals. No other team has 6 players who have scored 15 or more goals.
Right.
Think about that.
And Marchment's going to creep on that really, really quick here. Because the telepathy with him and Lundell, that pass from Lundell on Marchment's first goal. I mean, this kid.
On both goals.
Has got. I mean, he's like
hockey IQ off the charts. That's what it is. That's what it is, Eric, and his ability to, to the chessboard to see the play before it happens.
Yeah, it's
obviously the chemistry and knowing where the other player is going to be.
Yeah,
I mean that line is dynamite. That's again, I wouldn't even call them a third line, but they, I guess technically are. There's not a third line that's better than that. No.
There's just a lot of most teams would be content with that being their second line at this point. But look, Lundell is like Barkov and Huberdeau had a baby, right? And I don't know, and the mother had a shoot first mentality.
Let's just say Barkov had a little brother. He's Barkov's little brother.
Yeah, something like that. So mom had a shoot first mentality. The brother from a different mother, because Lundell's just got that edge. You know what I mean?
He plays a very similar game, and he's very strong defensively too. Yeah. He just knows what to do at a particular time.
Right.
And that you can't buy that.
No.
That's just instinctive. So anyway, I'm glad he got 2 points. He's, I think, 4th now in the scoring race. I mean, again, he's just gotta just rack up points this second half, and he'll win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
There's nobody better than him. I mean, the other guys, they showed a graph. He's got more goals than any of them 5-on-5.
Right.
Okay. Right. He's got the highest plus minus.
Right.
I mean, how many more goals would he have if he was playing on the power play with the first unit? That's what these other 2 guys from Detroit, they have most of their goals on the power play. So again, I said, when they look at the 3 or 4 guys in contention for the Calder, they have to look at not just, goals and assists and points. They got to look at the whole picture.
Yep.
And if they look at the whole picture, hands down, he's the best rookie there is. So,
Yeah. Now, did I think it was you or somebody on Twitter said it looked like Duclair was okay? So did he come back out onto the ice?
Yeah, well, that's what Jameson, I think, put a quote. Bruno says he seems to be okay. We'll reevaluate him tomorrow. I mean, it's just unbelievable that we had that hit on Trocheck the game before, and then it's like almost the same exact type of hit, head down or not looking, anticipating a pass. I think it was. I mean, he got his clock. He's got his bell wrong.
Yep.
I'm just really glad nothing serious, and we don't know. We don't know if he's got a mild concussion. You just never know, but he definitely, definitely scary last night.
Yeah, I think there's a rule. I don't know the amount of time, but I remember we went through this either earlier in the season with somebody or last year, where the concussion spotter takes him off the ice, and then something happened. I think it was our guy came back too soon. And there's a rule where they have to be off of the ice a certain amount of hockey game time. I don't remember if
and it's 5 minutes. And they sent him back out again, right?
They sent him back. Yeah, they sent him back to the locker room to start the clock all over again. So that's why Duclair was out. Even if he goes back to the locker room, he says, okay, there's a certain amount of game time that he has to be out for. So that's why he was out there, off the ice for so long.
We can't afford to. He's one of the guys we can't afford to lose.
Right. No,
20
absolutely.
goals. He's got 20 goals. His career high is 23. You think with all the games remaining, he's not going to get at least. I mean, he's a 30-goal scorer this year if he stays on pace.
Yep. Well, we're going to have multiple. And
guys. It's great. It's great that we have him, and it's great that these guys. In his case, Ottawa didn't want him. The Rangers traded him to Arizona. I mean, this kid, it just boggles my mind.
I know.
And I remember when he was playing for the Rangers, I liked him at that time because he was very fast. I remember that when he was a rookie and whatnot. I was like, this kid's going to be good. And, next thing you know, the Rangers are getting rid of him. So obviously, all these teams that gave up on him are probably, kicking themselves right now. But again, their loss, our gain. These guys, they love playing here. Why not?
Why not is right.
Okay?
So
looking
forward, I mentioned this at the end last night.
Wait, we still have to mention the fact that Huberdeau picked up another 2 assists.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's got 50 assists now. And I like the fact that they acknowledged last night with his 2 assists and his 50 assists that Huberdeau is the best passer in the league.
Yeah. No, that's actually true. They actually did say that.
They actually said it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. It's not debatable anymore. The guy is
unless Butchergrass has been reading my tweets. Because I did tweet that yesterday, or I tweeted it the day after the Carolina game.
Yep. No, I agree. So, Chicago, 3:00 tomorrow. Nothing good can happen tomorrow, just because those 2 points are already in the bank. You know what I'm saying? They've got to already be in the bank. So nothing good can happen. Just go out there, everybody stay healthy, and get the hell out of that building with 2 points, because
I wouldn't say it's in the bank.
Well, it's in the mental bank. It's in my mental bank.
You got Fleury in goal. Still got to beat him.
Yeah, I'm not goalies.
Not yet.
Fleury,
I don't know what happened last night. I turned off the game because it was getting late. But oh no, they lost in a shootout. It was Dallas and Chicago, and this kid Heinz put a great move on Fleury, and then he put it 5-hole. Fleury was pissed, but that was a one. Eric, Dallas won that game 1-0.
Jeez.
So Fleury had they both had shutouts in regulation. It went to a shootout. I don't think we've played a 1-0 game the whole year.
No, I don't believe we have either. All right, I'm looking up. Let's see how
6 goals last night. I mean, granted, 2 were empty netters, but we hit the magic number of 4. And,
all right, so right now he's I'm not gonna look at his record because he's always playing with that. He's got a 2.8 goals against and a 912 save percentage. I mean,
it doesn't matter. He plays good against us. But here's the other side of the coin. We've now won 2 big games in a row.
Right.
On the road.
Yeah.
Where we scored. Listen, you said it in your Carolina and Minnesota are no slouch teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going into Chicago with a little swagger, momentum, whatever you want to call it. I hate those 3:00 games.
No, you and me both.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
And I'm curious to see if Knight's going to be. Oh, Knight's not with. Is Knight with us now?
No. They said Knight was not going to come up for the whole trip at all.
Okay, so it's Bob again.
Yeah, that's been the plan, unless he got too exhausted last night, which I don't.
Do you think he had that busy a night?
I mean, not so much with the third period. The third period was a lot more relaxed. If the third period went the way the second period went, I'd have been a little bit more concerned. But we pretty much shut them down. I mean, I know they got the goal there, but I mean, geez, the last 7 minutes of the game they had no goalie, so they really made it easy on Bob.
I think Minnesota only had 20 shots last night.
Yeah. No, the quality of shots in the second period had me a little bit concerned that, he was going to get worn out if we continued to let them pepper him with that many shots.
I'm going back, flashback here.
Yeah.
So we talked about Uyghur missing his man on the Kaprizov goal.
Right.
How about the lame ass try to get the puck up the board pass that Kaprizov somehow got a hold of and just zipped it to Zuccarello for, tapping, whatever.
Right.
But instead of Uyghur, zipping it out of the zone, it was like a lame ass. It just, it was one of those. It happens all the time where, a defensive mistake, it's a boom, boom, it's in the net because of a bad pass. I mean, that's a play where, there's pressure on us, bounce it high, not, off the glass or something.
Right.
You look at the replay and see it was like a mamby-pamby little attempt to get it out of the zone.
Jeez.
So
that part,
that was a great play, by the way.
Yeah.
This kid, Kaprizov's really good.
Yeah, he's good. He was annoying. That's how I know when an opposing team's player is good, is by the second, third period, he's pissing me off and I don't like him anymore. He must be good.
And him and Zuccarello are like Barkov and Huberdeau.
Yeah.
They have that chemistry. They have that it thing, and they both know where each other is.
But we're
so on the Duclair goal, isn't it amazing that particular shift? Bruno put Huberdeau up with Barkov.
Was that so? Huberdeau got put up with Barkov before Duke got hurt.
No.
Because you said
on Duclair's goal,
right?
Okay, on Duclair's goal, that shift, Huberdeau took Verhaeghe's place.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
Okay, so he was playing with Barkov, and Huberdeau actually almost scored on it. And we got puck luck. We got a little break where the pucks, squirted out to Huberdeau, and he just passed it. Duclair had a boom,
Yeah.
coming in on the right side.
Yeah.
But I thought that was something worth mentioning. That so I'll segue into the fact that they mentioned it last night that Burnett should be considered for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that because so many of us, when we didn't have that good start when he took over, saying, "Oh, we need a real coach."
Right.
Right? How many people tweeted that? And now everybody that said that kind of sort of has egg on their face because he has gotten it together and he has made some good moves. And especially with the lineups, I can't disagree with the moves that he's made
No. Yeah, for the most part.
and who's sitting. No matter what kind of contract they have or
Right,
whatever.
right.
I mean, to sit Frank Vetrano,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Tippett I could see, Thornton I can see, but taking over with the circumstances he took over,
Right.
yeah, I definitely think he's in consideration. And
Yeah.
obviously Zito, should win the GM of the year, no doubt about that. He got screwed last year, but it's going to be interesting with these awards. But again,
Yeah.
who cares? I just want the one trophy.
You just
That's
want the
all.
one trophy.
And I'm
Yes.
sure the players would say, I know Barco would say, I don't need the Selkie.
Right.
I want the cup. Huberto would say, I don't want MVP, or I don't want, the scoring title. I don't care about that stuff.
Right.
So it's nice, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. No, I agree. I just give him a contract. I would like to see them make him not the interim, like on the eve of the playoffs, give him a 3-year deal and
Well, that's what they did with
Yeah.
Craig Berube with St. Louis.
right.
He was an interim coach,
Yeah.
and he took him, and they won the cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be nice if they did that now, just for whatever, what's the word, optics or
For optics. Yeah.
whatever, for the
Yeah.
players to see that he's now the official head
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
know if Zito's going to do that. So
I have a feeling my gut's telling me right before the playoffs, either the last couple games of the season there, right before the playoffs, they'll announce a deal as a little boost there for us. So,
yeah, I would like to see that. The players love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, he's a former player.
And we've got
It's
a
funny
good
they-
staff. That's the other thing is that a lot of times when the guy gets fired, there's a reason the guy gets fired. So the staff is already kind of, fighting amongst themselves or there's issues there. This was so different where he just inherited this perfectly clean, good staff. So it is
And the system. System.
Right. Yeah. He's not coming in being charged with we suck, you gotta fix things. His only job was don't screw this up. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
But no, he's made some good moves. He's made all the right personnel moves. I think there was one game where I was a little bit, and I mean it was the COVID stuff. So he had to make some interesting moves there on defense. But other than that, he's pretty much been in line with what we want. So he's obviously doing a good job.
So when I was talking about Carlson, what's your take on Carlson?
He's flashing for all the right reasons. I don't, me, if somebody makes a mistake, I see it. All right. That's my whole shtick is bitching about it. And he's not giving me any material. That's why I have to keep going back to Ekblad and Barkov, or not Ekblad and Weaver, because Carlson's he's just in the right space, making plays. And
he's doing his job.
He's doing his job. He's not screwing up, and so especially as a bottom pair, there's really it is a tough spot we're in because you really don't want to mess with that 6. So then you've got to go find a guy that could legitimately be a 5 or 6D and plug him in at 7D. So you've got that playoff depth because that's what we don't have.
Exactly. That's you're right on point. You don't right now. Again with these big names that they're floating around.
Right.
They're not picking a guy like that up to sit.
Right.
But if we pick up again a guy that is under the radar, that's up and coming, young and up and coming, that's solid, stay back D.
Yeah.
He's there for insurance purposes.
Right. I think that's what they thought Navarro was going to be. And he's not. So I agree with you. I look for, one of those under the radar guys that maybe he gets in a game to get him on the ice, but in terms of when you come playoff time, I'm comfortable with the 6 we have. I just don't like 7 and 8. I just don't like what we got behind them. So that's it. And as far as the wingers are concerned, the only reason why I would be concerned about depth at that point is if you're making any moves, you're getting rid of Vetrano and Tippett. So now your depth is going to consist of Mammon and Thornton, and then you're down to Heponiemi and Denisenko. Mammon is serviceable. We don't know what he's going to be. Thornton is going to be able to give you a game, but you don't know what you're going to get out of him. So I'm a little bit, getting rid of Vetrano and Tippett, and that could be the only flip side there. Zito may be looking at our needs and say, you know what? We'll just lose him for nothing because we'll keep him for depth for the playoff run. Because guys get hurt, and you never know. Round 3, we need Vetrano to step in and play 3 games because he's the guy that's left. You know what I mean? We're going to need guys like that somewhere on the depth chart. So we either got to get different guys and get rid of Vetrano and Tippett, or just keep those guys as the depth, but know that we're going to lose them, for nothing after the season. So
yeah, Vetrano's got to be fuming right now, just like Trocheck. Even though they didn't really bench Trocheck, they just traded him.
Yeah.
But I mean, Vetrano, again, one of those guys that, hey, he has that entitled mentality.
Right.
You just like, he's done squat, basically. He's done squat all year. So why should he be playing when there's other guys that are playing better?
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of like Claude Giroux coming in, and it's just going to mess up
the chemistry.
It's going to mess up the chemistry, whatever you want to call it. When you look at the lines, the way they're set up, you bring a guy like that in, granted, he's a great player and, he would probably fit in, nicely with Barkov, but then, okay, so then what? Duclair back on the second line?
Right.
And what? Hornquist on the third line? You're not breaking up Marchment, Lundell, and Reinhardt, so then Hornquist goes back on the fourth line.
And then who's
okay?
six?
So who gets out? Luosterainen.
Yeah, you'd have a fourth line of Achari, Hornquist, and Lomberg with Luosterainen on the bench.
Luosterainen's in a slump right now.
Yeah, I mean he's not playing bad.
He hasn't scored in X amount of games.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'd like to see him, start scoring some goals.
Yeah.
But he's been more in the pass mentality. I've been just watching him. I don't know if he's afraid to shoot the puck or whatever, but there's been opportunities for him. Like Tippett, where they're just afraid to shoot. I don't know why.
Yeah, but Luosterainen, I noticed that too. It's like as soon as the puck gets on his stick, he wants to get rid of it. Yeah, that's confidence. It's young players. That happens to them. But I mean, well, like you said, we'll find out. You don't want to blow up the chemistry. But we got to add to the. I know we're the deepest. The players that we can put out there on the ice were ridiculously deep. I just would like to have one more of each. That's it, and that's nitpicking. So, all right, guys. So tomorrow the game is at 3. The live stream is at 2. Now, yesterday on the live stream, I gave away this Brian Scrudlin card. And then because one bad Steve got pissed off that he didn't win, I had to give away another card, and that's this Mark Fitzpatrick card. And Steve didn't win that one either. So I'm going to have to come up with a special question just for Steve that he can get right before everybody else can guess the answer. And he wants a signed Uyghur card that I don't have. So
we can't take the Blackhawks lightly.
No, absolutely.
And I don't think at this point they're going to do that. But, again, and you could see last night it took 5 minutes for us to, like, I don't know why, but it's rare that we come out of the gate like on fire.
Right.
It always takes us a little bit to, it always seems to be like the other team has to play for the first, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd love to see us win again and go home, 3-0 on this.
Yeah. No, this
on
one's
this
got
roadie.
this one.
Because we got McDavid next week, so
Right. Yeah. No, next week.
Draisaitl and McDavid are always
Yep.
a threat.
Yep. So
anyway, that's
all right,
all
guys.
I got. Do your like and
Yep.
subscribe.
You guys just make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell. I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm trying to get a little bit better with being able to get with everything.
Oh, by the way,
comments,
guys, I'm at 871 now on Twitter. I'd love to get up to 900 followers. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I mean, if you want to block me, you don't like what I say, fine. But I've been picking up some followers in the last couple of days, and it's really nice. But I would like to get to 900.
Yeah, we gotta get to 1,000 followers, and we are on Flying Fluffy. We are inching. We picked up another 7 subscribers last night. We are a breath away from 1,500. So that tells me we're going to get to 2,000 before the playoffs start, which that was my goal. And then I want to turn that 2 into 5 during the playoffs. So if you have to break into your grandma's house and steal her laptop and have her subscribe to the channel, that's what we're going to have to do. I want to get up to 5,000 at the end of these playoffs. And the playoffs better be 4 rounds worth. That's all I got to say about that. Don't be screwing me, Panthers. I had to put a lot of effort into this. Don't be one and done, and there's my channel sitting there at 2,500. No, we're going all the way. I demand it. All right, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow.